Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of protesting, a public, often organized, manifestation of dissent. Express opposition through action or words. A formal and solemn declaration of objection. They finished the game under protest to the league president. Affirm or avow formally or solemnly. The suspect protested his innocence. The act of making a strong public expression of disagreement and disapproval. He shouted his protests at the umpire. Utter words of protest. Be of different opinions. The act of protesting, a public, often organized, manifestation of dissent. Express opposition through action or words. Dissent to the laws of the country. A difference of opinion. Law, the difference of one judge's opinion from that of the majority. He expressed his dissent in a contrary opinion. Withhold assent. Several Republicans dissented. The act of expressing earnest opposition or protest. The act of protesting, a public, often organized, manifestation of dissent. Law, a procedure whereby a party to a suit says that a particular line of questioning or a particular witness or a piece of evidence or other matter is improper and should not be continued and asks the court to rule on its impropriety or illegality. The speech act of objecting. Stand up or offer resistance to somebody or something. Resist immunologically the introduction of some foreign tissue or organ. Withstand the force of something. The trees resisted her. Elude, especially in a baffling way. Express opposition through action or words. Refuse to comply. A formal and solemn declaration of objection. The many protestations did not stay the execution. A strong declaration of protest. An electrical device that resists the flow of electrical current. A secret group organized to overthrow a government or occupation force. The action of opposing something that you disapprove or disagree with. He encountered a general feeling of resistance from many citizens. Medicine, the condition in which an organism can resist disease. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. Any mechanical force that tends to retard or oppose motion. Group action in opposition to those in power. Psychiatry, an unwillingness to bring repressed feelings into conscious awareness. The capacity of an organism to defend itself against harmful environmental agents. These trees are widely planted because of their resistance to salt and smog. The degree of unresponsiveness of a disease-causing microorganism to antibiotics or other drugs, as in penicillin-resistant bacteria. The military action of resisting the enemy's advance. The enemy offered little resistance. Contrast with equal weight or force. Set into opposition or rivalry. Be resistant to. The board opposed his motion. Fight against or resist strongly. The senator said he would oppose the bill. Act against or in opposition to. Be against. Express opposition to. We oppose the ban on abortion. Deny the truth of. Be in contradiction with. Be resistant to. Prove negative. Show to be false. Be resistant to. Prove to be false or incorrect. State categorically. Insist on having one's opinions and rights recognized. Women should assert themselves more. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Postulate positively and assertively. The letter asserts a free society. Move about aimlessly or without any destination, often in search of food or employment. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Stately heavy-bodied aquatic bird with very long neck and usually white plumage as adult. Sweep majestically. Airplanes were swanning over the mountains. Have faith or confidence in. Utter obscenities or profanities. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Before God I swear I am innocent. Make a deposition. Declare under oath. Promise solemnly. Take an oath. Check or regulate. A scientific experiment, by conducting a parallel experiment or comparing with another standard. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Attach or append a legal verification to a pleading or petition. Confirm the truth of. Please verify that the doors are closed. Admit openly and bluntly. Make no bones about. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. Say yes to. Report or maintain. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. My mother complains all day. Make a formal accusation. Bring a formal charge. The plaintiff's lawyer complained that defendant had physically abused his client. Not mixed with extraneous elements. Plain water. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. My mother complains all day. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Made his meaning plain. Free from any effort to soften to disguise. The plain and unvarnished truth. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. A plain hair style. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. You are plainly wrong. Extensive tract of level open land. They emerged from the woods onto a vast open plain. Lacking patterns especially in color. Lacking in physical beauty or proportion. A plain girl with a freckled face. A basic knitting stitch made by putting the needle through the front of the stitch from the left-hand side. Not elaborate or elaborated, simple. Plain food. Start playing. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. Express one's opinion openly and without fear or hesitation. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. Yiddish, a constant complainer. Yiddish, a nagging complaint. The act of delivering a blow with the foot. He gave the ball a powerful kick. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. She has a lot to kick about. Stop consuming. Kick a habit. Informal terms for objecting. Spring back, as from a forceful thrust. The gun kicked back into my shoulder. The backward jerk of a gun when it is fired.
A rhythmic thrusting movement of the legs as in swimming or calisthenics.
The kick must be synchronized with the arm movements. The swift release of a store of effective force. He does it for kicks. Drive or propel with the foot. Kick a leg up. Make a goal. He kicked the extra point after touchdown. Strike with the foot. The boy kicked the dog. The sudden stimulation provided by strong drink, or certain drugs. A sidecar is a smooth drink but it has a powerful kick. Thrash about or strike out with the feet. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. A group's refusal to have commercial dealings with some organization in protest against its policies. Refuse to sponsor. Refuse to do business with. Proof by a process of argument or a series of proposition proving an asserted conclusion. A visual presentation showing how something works. The lecture was accompanied by dramatic demonstrations. A show or display. The act of presenting something to sight or view. He gave the customer a demonstration. A public display of group feelings, usually of a political nature. There were violent demonstrations against the war. A show of military force or preparedness. He confused the enemy with feints and demonstrations. A protest action by labor or minority groups to obtain their demands. An appearance in bodily form, as of a disembodied spirit. Expression without words. A public display of group feelings, usually of a political nature. A clear appearance. A manifestation of great emotion. A manifest indication of the existence or presence or nature of some person or thing. A manifestation of disease. A strike in which the workers walk out. The act of walking out, of a meeting or organization, as a sign of protest. There was a walkout by the black members as the chairman rose to speak. Result or issue. Get up and out of bed. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Take part in a rebellion. Renounce a former allegiance. Originate or come into being. Move upward. Rise to one's feet. Having deserted a cause or principle. Renegade supporters of the usurper. A disloyal person who betrays or deserts his cause or religion or political party or friend, etc. Break with established customs. Someone who rebels and becomes an outlaw. Stop work in order to press demands. Leave abruptly, often in protest or anger. Leave suddenly, often as an expression of disapproval. Lie adjacent to another or share a boundary. England marches with Scotland. The act of marching. walking with regular steps, especially in a procession of some kind. It was a long march. The month following February and preceding April. March in a procession. Walk ostentatiously. A degree granted for the successful completion of advanced study of architecture. District consisting of the area on either side of a border or boundary of a country or an area. The Welsh marches between England and Wales. Genre of music written for marching. Sousa wrote the best marches. March in protest. Take part in a demonstration. A procession of people walking together. The march went up Fifth Avenue. A steady advance. The march of science. Cause to march or go at a marching pace. They marched the mules into the desert. Forced to march. The Japanese marched their prisoners through Manchuria. Walk fast, with regular or measured steps. Walk with a stride. He marched into the classroom and announced the exam.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.